I think next is probably this guy. This is pretty common and just a factory knife. This is the Bark River Bravo 1. This is a little longer knife. It's about 9 inches overall. This is an A2 steel. It's roughly 3/16 inch thick. It's a pretty beefy guy if you haven't held one of these. This is the black, I think it's canvas or linen, I can't quite remember, probably canvas micarta. Full convex grind, fairly goofy thumb ramp that I'm not really a fan of, but doesn't bother me enough to take it away. Full tang, just a really solid knife, really solid. Some people worry about batoning. This is one of those knives that is just so beefy you just don't worry about it. In hand, it's it feels pretty good. I don't know if my hands aren't as wide as some others, but my hand kind of the middle is down here, obviously, of the swell, you can see. So that's where my hand goes in the middle, is right over the swell. And when I do that, there's a bit of room up here where I feel like I'm losing some control because my hand doesn't come all the way up to the top like I want it to. I think ideally I would want this front swell to be a little lessened and this swell to be moved up just a bit, and then it would really be perfectly comfortable for me. It's a little bit not as large in circumference as I would like, but certainly sharp enough. You'd think at 3/16, you're pretty wary of it, but Bark River does a really good job with their grinds, and so it's still a good slicer. But it can make a good fuzz stick and still go baton through some wood to get you something dry. It's a good knife. It's solid. This is the Kydex that came with it. It's a very strong, very secure, very tight. Locks in there real well. So certainly no worries of loss or anything like that. Equally so with the Kia sheath over here. It's good lock, good strong fit. Last but definitely not least, I'm sorry, I meant to add, this is probably about $125 what you get on the market, or you're looking for used, stuff like that. So more than the others. It's what's important to you. Do you need that extra heft and the extra size to make you feel good, or do you like something a little more finesse, a little more delicate, like the Mora knives? The next is my favorite Bushcraft knife that I've ever owned. This is just a sheath that I found somewhere in my drawer, of which we do not speak. But the knife inside is a Brian Andrews Bushcraft knife. This has seen an obscene amount of use. It's a great knife. This is green canvas micarta. I got some blue liners on it, which I really love. I had them order those for me. The color scheme is really attractive to me, but it's obviously not the most important part of the knife. You can see the curves on this. I told my wife it looks like Marilyn Monroe. It's just fantastic. Really fills the hand properly. And as you can see, like I was talking about the Bravo 1 handle, the modifications I would have made are pretty much already on the Brian Andrews knife. The swell's up a little more. This inlet isn't as deep, even though I'd like that even to be a little less deep, I think. That and then a slight swell on the palm would be the only changes I would make to the handle on this knife, and I may break down and have Brian do that for me. It's got a good Scandi grind. It's a nice high shoulder. Makes for a extraordinarily sharp edge. Again, like the 510, I've cut myself on this more than a few times. A friend noted right away, and I guess I kind of noticed in practice and use, this has the constant elliptical edge of this constant curve, really makes this cut just impressively well. It does amazing on food or wood. Whatever you're doing, it comes up to a nice spear point. I've had to put just a slight secondary bevel up here towards the tip, because once when I was drilling a fireboard, I'd use some sand to try to work it out and didn't clean it out well enough. Use this to keep drilling, and the sand chipped my edge. Has nothing to do with the maker. That's just user stupidity. But in hand, it fits me perfectly. It's another egg shape sort of in there, sort of like Brendan's. Brendan's is a little wider and more broad. This is actually a better fit for me. He's obviously got these down so that you can use some really comfortable side grips. You really got good control there. But it's also a little longer than the others at 9 inches, but easily my favorite Bushcraft knife. I believe this one comes in around $145 right now, roughly. I don't believe that's with a sheath, but if you have the means and you want a Bushcraft knife that's just going to get you through the rest of your life, I really think that's it. So I'm going to try to do some more of these later on. I really appreciate you guys checking me out, and I hope that's been helpful to somebody, and I'll try to give some more reviews in the future. And these are not really reviews, I guess, so much as just thoughts on knives I've gotten, so you guys can get a better idea of size and stuff like that. So we'll get some in-use videos and such in the future. But thanks for checking me out. Y'all take care.